Unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard of Overwatch. It seems to be the game that everyone wants to play right now, and it's finally released with excellent review scores across the board, 10 out of 10 and 5 out of 5 bananas everywhere. Players have had the chance to play it since last year though, through various closed and open betas, but now it's out, I think it's going to be very popular indeed. Even if it's not your cup of tea, you can't deny that the Overwatch short movies they keep releasing are amazing. They could release an actual Overwatch movie tomorrow and I'm sure people would lap it up. Actually, I think they might just do that down the line anyway. Regardless, a lot of people will be seeing the game more now and even playing it for themselves, so I've put together some basic tips for players who are new to the game. On the outside it may look a bit confusing, but at its core it's fairly simple and that's why it works so well. Simple to pick up and hard to master, the perfect combination. So in Overwatch you can pick from 21 heroes to play as, split into 4 different categories: offense, defense, tank and support. Think of offense as the damage dealers. These guys often have fairly low health compared to the others, but high power damage weapons and offensive minded abilities. I personally think that Pharah and Soldier 76 are the easiest offensive heroes to start playing the game with. Pharah has a boost pack so she can do a minimal amount of flying and she comes equipped with a rocket launcher. Soldier on the other hand has an assault rifle and is the one character in the game that can sprint. McCree takes a bit more getting used to, but when you're familiar with him he's extremely powerful. His stun grenade and fan the hammer combination is immensely satisfying and dangerous. Coming up on the channel I will be doing individual guides for all of the heroes in each class. And now moving on, we've got your defensive heroes. Their job is to, wait for it, defend. These include turret characters and snipers. Widowmaker is the sniper of the crew and Bastion is a character that can instantly turn into a turret on a key press. In terms of defending, he's very strong. A good sniper can also make a big difference. Tanks are next, and of course these guys come with masses of health. Reinhardt is a very important tank hero because although he moves quite slow, he's got a load of health and he's got a pop-up shield that can help your team advance and protect them. When you're attacking an objective, it's very important to have tank-based characters like Reinhardt to head the attack and split the enemy team up. Finally, the support class has your healers as well as characters like Symmetra that can create teleporters to get you back to the action faster. The two best healers are Mercy and Lucio's speed and strength as a healer make him sometimes very hard to kill. Now your game modes in Overwatch are pretty simple. Assault has you trying to capture a series of objectives while defenders hold you off. In Escort you're trying to escort a payload to a delivery point on the other side of the map. And there's also an assault/escort combination mode. Then lastly we have Control, where 2 teams are fighting over 1 point. In general, the important thing to remember with Overwatch is this: team composition is key. The game will allow you to have all the same characters selected if that's what your team wants to do, and unfortunately sometimes that may work, but the point of the game is for you to have a nice blend of players and build interesting tactics and team play around that. So something like a healer, some tanks as well as offensive based players. If you have a healer and the other team does not, you'll definitely notice the difference. It's worth remembering though that you're not stuck with the character that you choose at the beginning. In fact, far from it. The game wants you to change characters on the fly depending on the situations that you face. Maybe your team is pinned down and you can't get past a certain point, so you want a different character with different abilities. Well, you can, and you can swap on the fly if you want to. In a lot of matches that you'll play, especially at higher skill levels, you'll see players swap characters in and out a fair bit. Be wary about this though, because when you change character, you lose the charge towards your ultimate ability, so if you've got a high amount of progress towards it, use it first before you swap. And I'd suggest that you try and play with each character a few times, not only to get a feel for them and see which one suits you, but by knowing what each character does and what their abilities are, you'll learn how to play against them. This can give you a great feeling of if you think you're going to win a fight or not. Every character has their strengths and weaknesses, and you need to learn to play to your character's strengths and the other character's weaknesses. It sounds easy, but in practice, not so much. Knowledge is power in Overwatch. The more you know, the better understanding you'll have. Also, remember to pick a hero that suits what you're currently trying to achieve. If you're defending, then Bastion or Torbjorn will be very useful with their turrets, but for attacking, maybe not so much. It all comes back to team composition and picking smartly. Now, playing smart goes for using your character's ultimate ability as well. Each character has one of these, and some are attack minded for dealing damage, such as Pharah's rocket barrage, and others are designed to be used in combination with others such as Zarya's gravity bomb that holds enemies in place. Using your team's ultimates together can have deadly effects and combinations. Also, remember that ultimates have an audio cue when they're about to happen. If you're here, and I'm sure you've heard it plenty of times already, it's high noon, then McCree is about to unleash his aiming prowess and you might want to get into cover. And of course, learn the maps, know the flanking routes that you can take and where all the health pickups are. It really can save your life. Certain sneaky routes can also be used with particular players. Pharah, for instance, can get quickly through areas that other players can't, and Junkrat can use his C4 to propel himself forward into the air, making his movement very skilled in the right hands. And if the enemy team is running a lot of support characters or healers, ideally you should be going for them first. If you see a Mercy or a Lucio and a chance to take them out, that should be your primary focus, especially if you're playing as an offensive character. If Mercy is healing a player you're attacking, then just stop and focus on Mercy instead. Healers in this game make a massive difference, believe me. Trying to go into a fight before first taking out the enemy team's healer could make your life a whole lot more difficult. Wrapping things up for today, Overwatch is a team-based game. Characters are designed to both be used together and to counter ones on the enemy team. Playing as a lone wolf isn't what's going to get the job done here. You need to play together and communicate. Remember as well, if a number of your teammates die and you've got to respawn, you might be re-entering the battle at different times. Don't just rush back in. Wait for support, group up and do it together. And that's all for this beginner's guide on Overwatch. As I said, I will be doing individual hero guides for each class, so look out for those. There'll be 4 separate videos covering each class. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, that would be great. If you didn't, a thumbs down, and I'll see you in the next one.